My name is Kyle Palmer, and I'm the founder of Team Rock Ministry, the creative outreach ministry that desires to share the gospel through martial arts, extreme breaking, and comedy. Team Rock was started as a local martial arts school Bible study. I grew up in the church, but I didn't know who Christ was. I wasn't walking with Christ. I became 18 and I wanted nothing to do with this whole God concept. It wasn't until I was in my late 20s where I found myself at a point of getting ready to commit suicide. And the week that I was going to commit suicide, someone invited me to church, one of my students. From that, I wanted to know more and more about God, and several students came up to encourage me and say, I think this is so exciting what you're doing. They said, we should start a martial arts Bible study in our school. As the owner of the school, I'm like, sure, why not? Let's do it. But then the kids all said, well, we need a name for our group, because all the other groups had names, and the Bible study was just the Bible study. So we were going through the book of Psalms, and God is the rock, God is the rock, God is the rock. And they said, you know, we should call this Team Rock. From there, a youth pastor wanted me to come in and break some stuff for a message he was doing in our local church. Then they wanted us to do a festival and do a little bit of a show thing. And it just grew and grew. And now, you know, we're a full-time ministry traveling around the world, doing almost 400 shows a year. We never once preach a word of the gospel at a fair from the stage unless we're in as a Christian act. Some fairs bring us in to be a Christian act, to share the gospel. Others is strictly entertainment. But people are still getting the message. You know, we play all Christian music in our show. We talk to them off the stage after the show. They'll come up and say things to us like, I really haven't been focusing on God in my life, and I realized that just by watching your guys' show. Last night I had a gentleman who said, you know, I think it's so cool because it wasn't preachy at all, but it was still very, very clear who you were and what you wanted to do. We always hope that we show Jesus through our physical actions of our daily lives. We hope that we're sharing the gospel in that way. I'm hoping that they're taken away like going, man, they've got something that I don't necessarily have, or I want more of whatever they have. And we do have people on a regular basis come up and say, hey, it's obvious you're a ministry, but I don't know what that looks like in my life. Can you tell me more about that? Having that desire to wanting to know him more, wanting to find out more about what that looks like. What does a real Christian walk look like? When those who come forward and say, hey, can you tell me more? Then our job is to make sure that we're connecting these people with a discipleship follow-up process. Sharing Jesus is great, but getting them plugged into a discipleship process is so vitally important that we have to be doing that everywhere we go.